Stephanie Wilson here for PEG TV at the Chaffee Art Center with my dear friend Sherri Rooker, who is the executive director here at the Chaffee, and we are here to talk about the arts because today it's all about the arts, right, Sherri?
Yes, it is.
There are always so many things going on here, and it's fall, and fall is kind of that busy season of everyone kicking back into gear, right? And although it never seems like you have a dull moment at this place, but things do change and have sort of a different flavor with the different seasons. Exactly. Yeah. So we're here to talk about all things Chaffee.
All things Chaffee. I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. I was kind of working like, okay, what do we want to talk about? And I'm thinking we want to talk about art in the park.
Yes.
And we want to talk about this new exhibit that we're going to have up for the whole time, even after Art in the Park.
Wonderful.
So it'll be really fun for people who come to the Main Street Park for Art in the Park, because if they feel they want to come across the Chaffee, they'll be able to see it's reimagined the art of recycling.
Wonderful. And they can just walk right across the crosswalk there from the park into the Chaffee. It's easy.
It's very convenient if they want to come and visit. So Art in the Park, can you believe this is the 63rd Art in the Park?
And it's twice a year.
Twice a year. Yeah, so this is coordinating it. It's kind of scary to say out loud, but this is my 44th time coordinating Art in the Park.
Which means you've been doing it for about 22 years, right?
Yeah.
Wow. And you and I have been talking about it together for...
How old is Stephen?
Many of those.
I know.
Yes, my son is 23.
And so we were doing it before him, I think.
I think before he was even born.
Yeah, I think you were single when
Me?
I don't know. It's a long time ago.
I've been there since college, so I was like just about every stage of my grown-up life.
Yeah, and I started in the 90s coordinating Art in the Park. So if people don't know what Art in the Park is, it's an art and craft show, and it's a lot of fun. Fall is really like a really different, like you said, vibe with the foliage and all of that happening and that chill in the air. It's fun. And it feels different.
It does. It smells different. Everything's a little different.
It's kind of the energy, because in the summer it's really fun because it's sunny and everything, but sometimes it got a little hot. But this one it's fun because you get to put your sweaters on and come.
Yeah, put on your best fall fashion.
Yes.
Walk your dog through the park. A lot of people do that. Push your kid in the stroller. All those things.
Yep. And it will be in Main Street Park, even though the gazebo is being worked on.
I was going to ask you about that, how that affects everything, because...
So it's exciting that the gazebo is being worked on. And it's looking really nice. I was over there talking with a person from Russell who's working on it. And it's going to be really nice for the community when it's done. So that being said, I'm not quite sure what it's going to look like, because we're taping a little bit before Art in the Park so that we can get the word out there. But we will be using it, the park, as normal. And I was over there. It's totally doable. It just might be a teeny bit different with where the fencing is. So it'll be fine. And so October 12th and 13th is Art in the Park, 10 to 5 Saturday, 10 to 4 Sunday. I see a little thing floating in the air. Sorry. We do need volunteers. I want to get that out there right away, because I'm working on that. And if anybody wants to help volunteer, we have gate greeters, and we set up on Friday the 11th, and then we tear down on Sunday the 13th. Need a lot of volunteers. It's like 60 to 70 volunteers a weekend.
It definitely takes a village to put that whole thing together.
And it's fun. People always say, oh yeah, I'll do a gate, because it's like Old Home Week. You're seeing all these people you haven't seen in maybe since the other Art in the Park or last year.
That's often the case. Yeah. Or sometimes it's weird. We'll see people. We were doing the gate last time, and we saw people from our town that we don't see in our town. Or we saw people from work that we don't see when we're at work, and it was kind of fun to catch up with them at Art in the Park.
I know. definitely a great place to, sit down and talk to people. We have food vendors this time. We have the Clucking Cafe, and we have a Guatemalan food truck.
Oh, I'm excited about that.
I know. And then we have an Italian bakery as well.
Ooh, that
Yes,
sounds
I'm really
wonderful.
excited about the Italian bakery.
You know what? The summer one, I'm not a person to go, like when I go out, I don't usually order a burger. Meat's just not my first go-to. But I had one of the best burgers of my life at Art in the Park.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
I know,
I
yeah.
really have to try out some of these
These
different
other ones that
vendors.
come.
And
So it'll be a different one this time. Now you get to try Guatemalan food.
I've had Guatemalan food. I love it, and I want some more.
Good,
Yes, we
good.
want all of it. Yes.
And then we'll have kettle corn, of course.
Of course.
And he usually has.
We usually walk around a huge
candy.
bag of it.
Yeah.
Just eat it the whole time we're there.
I know, right? So there'll be that. There'll be live music, which sets the feel for the park, and there'll be kids activities. Wonder Feet's going to do kids activities for
Nice.
us again. There'll be face painting.
They do beautiful face painting.
Yeah.
My daughter got the most beautiful face painting, and she didn't want to
And
take
it
it
was
off.
actually Alicia did it, and not Alicia's a person that I know from. Well, it's a long story, but anyway, she's been doing face painting for us.
Beautiful
she's
job.
An artist, she's an artist and an artist of face painting, but she's very talented.
It was not your typical face
No.
painting. We made sure to get some really good pictures
Yeah.
because I thought
She'll do full
she's
face,
going to want to remember
the
that.
full face, or she'll
Yes.
do just a little one, depending on what you want.
Yeah, she did almost her entire face.
Yes, yes.
It took a while, but it was worth it.
And then, as most people who have come know that we have all types of exhibitors. So
Yes.
whether it's the arts, watercolor, oil, photography, then there's pottery, and then there's fiber, all kinds of fiber items, whether it's a canvas bag or hats or
Fairy houses, bird houses,
yes. Lots
wind
of
chimes.
there's aromatherapy,
Yes.
lotions and things,
Soaps
and
and-
candles. I know I'm trying to think what else there might be, but there's oodles of things. Jewelry, did we say jewelry? There's lots of jewelry.
And now it's
all
that
different
time of year where
types.
people need to, or not need to, but might want to start so it's not so crushed at the end thinking about the holiday season and
exactly.
special gifts that are not mass produced, really
Right.
special, unique things. I still have people say, oh, I love that, this or that you got for me at Art in the Park.
It's true. But don't go with your sister, I have to tell you, because I did this in August, and we kept buying things for each other.
Oh,
So you don't want to do that if you want to buy for other people. It was so funny because she would come back here.
I thought you'd love this.
And I actually had from a photographer, for her birthday, I knew she liked one thing the photographer didn't have, the specific, I think it was an eagle, I think, bald eagle. And so I had her do it for her birthday, and I gave it to her afterwards because she sent it to me, because that can happen too. If they don't have what you want, they'll certainly accommodate you, so it's funny. Okay, so Art in the Park, October 12th and 13th. Volunteers, really, really need them. So we want to talk about the exhibit now?
Yes, and we are actually sitting beneath part of it. I've really been enjoying. And you, did you plan to match this exhibit, Sherri?
I didn't know where. I didn't know where
I love it.
we were going to sit, because I don't know how much Jim's going to walk around. Jim is behind the camera. Thank you, Jim Bowden.
Thank you, Jim.
But I'm hanging the show. So currently, okay. So by the time you see it, it'll all be done.
And we were moving things out
Yeah,
of the way,
I know.
and I'm thinking,
And so-
oh, please don't break this.
I know. But some of the walls are bare right now. But like I said, you guys will be able to see it. It'll look awesome when you come in.
Of course.
So Bob Hooker created this out of paper and paint.
That does not look like paper.
I know. If you
It
look,
looks
it's
like
it's very cool.
Stone or
Yeah.
like some sort of concrete or, yeah,
Yeah.
it's incredible.
It is. So the exhibit is called Reimagined: The Art of Recycling. And this is a fun exhibit because it's about, what people make with recycled materials. So what I'm hoping is people are kind of inspired to, because some of it's whimsical, some of it's just fun, and some of it, is more of an art form. I shouldn't. They're all art forms, but where you might sell it for, because we have sculptures out of scrap metal, which are fantastic. There's also 2 sculptures outside out of metal in our sculpture garden, which we have off of the parking lot near our pollinator garden, which you got to check out too. It's 100 feet. Really, it's pretty right now. It's got lots of flowers. So anyway, we have that type of thing. But we also had a camp. We did 11 camps this summer, which
Yes.
Catherine was, her daughter was involved in some of that. And we had one where they used recycled materials to create robots and kind of sculpture. So we have a bunch of them, and the instructor made a 5'2" size one out of old milk jugs, watering, jugs, pine cones. Oh geez, there's so many things, like old cords, like with foam cords. I'm picturing them as I'm talking. So we have those, which are really cool. So I'm hoping it inspires people. What other things do we have? We have an architectural structure made out of CD covers, cases, cases. We have Jim Boughton, that guy behind the camera. So he made these awesome. I don't know why in my head one of them specifically speaks to me of Dr. Seuss, because they're really, and actually that one's called Whimsy. So but they're made out of, box board, like cereal boxes.
Yes, I remember.
Found objects.
Yes.
And just like all kinds of, you got to come and see them.
And
when you
look at them, you keep seeing something new and being like, wait a minute, and then recognizing that it's
live in that.
Right. It's a little world. It's a whimsical little world we want to live in.
And then there's a TV with a hand coming out of it that she was an intern here. She's an artist, Crystal Bean. She did some sculptures, and she did this really cool thing. You got to see it. I'm just like thinking as there's a dress made out of tags, like labels of your clothing. Like, no, I'm not kidding. You can see it from where you're sitting. It's really, really cool.
Oh my goodness.
I know. And there's a really funky piece BJ did out of we're talking old cell phones. It's really funny. So anyway, there's a lot, and we have stuff that's going to be on the walls, but a lot of things that aren't on the walls.
It sounds very inspirational. Like someone could come in, look around, and be like, I could maybe do something.
I'm hoping people see that, because recycled things. I mean, you hope that they get reused by big companies to remake into something.
Yes.
But it doesn't always happen. A lot of things can't necessarily be recycled, which is odd, I think, like styrofoam. So, I'm hoping that I'm going to do this community project with some other like lids of old things that I just have this whole big huge thing of them. So I'm hoping that what I'm going to do is have people be able to do it when they're coming in and be a part of this big community project that we're going to create. So that'll be fun. So it'll be up the whole time. They'll be able to do it the whole time. If they can't make it on a certain date, it's okay. Just come and be a part of this kind of I don't even know what to call it, but it's going to be a community project, so that'll be fun.
Wonderful. I don't know how you just keep coming up with so many new ideas, but keeps people coming back.
Well, and that's the thing for me. as director of the Chaffee, like I try to think of things for many different types of people, so that maybe, because some people don't want to come into the Chaffee because they think it's a museum, or they think it's kind of for people with money.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, for all those people, but it's also for the everyday person. I mean, we have classes and camps, like I said, and so I was hoping that's why I hope when I do things that are a little different, that maybe it speaks to people that might be, oh, that would be really cool. And we have a lot of people in the community that have pieces in this. So it doesn't have to be necessarily an artist who uses recycled materials. It can be the public. So it's a chance for them, like our student show, which we do every year. Everybody gets so excited that they get to have work in here. Mm-hmm. So it gives them an opportunity that they can actually create something and then, have work in the Chaffee. So
I heard a girl pitching you during one of the camps about having some of her work in the Chaffee, and she had a piece in the student show, and I think she was trying to pitch you to get something in during the other part of the year, and I was giggling. I'm thinking, well, it probably won't be long, and you'll be up here too.
So
but
cool,
that's
right?
so cool to think that is like an aspiration for this child.
And then you think, because I think that when we're doing our classes and we're doing our camps, especially for the young people, we're helping the foundation for how they're gonna experience art, or hoping that they will experience art, so they keep experiencing art, whether they become an artist that sells their work, or whether they just do it for if they're feeling lonely, or if they're feeling happy, or if they're wanting to do something with their friends, or whatever it is. Right.
And art is, like you said, there's so many different ways to express it. My daughter really likes to do, the more traditional ways that you would think of, drawing and sculpture, but in theater and music. Mm-hmm. But the other day, for a school project, for the first time, she started learning how to use slideshows. And, finding pictures and art for slideshows. And she said, I wonder if this could be a job. And I said, I use slideshows in my job all the time. A lot of people do. Yes, you have to make presentations. And I said, so maybe if it's not your whole job, it could certainly be part of your job.
Because most people have to do that at some point in their
That's right. So there are so many different ways to express and to use art. And it can be purely for the art of it and the joy of it, but it can also be, practical and for your work as well. So
I just did a mandala painting class for adults, and we were in this very room, and it's so funny because when we're starting, everybody's a little timid,
Mm-hmm.
What do I do? Oh, how do I start, or whatever. But then as it goes on, they start just experimenting and, using, and I'm like, because you can't really make a mistake, because you just let it dry and you just go over it. It's really not a big deal. And, but it was really cool because when they were done, they were so happy with their piece. And it came out so good,
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, and that's what with art forms like the mandala painting, it's a little different than having to be really technical, because you can do whatever you want.
Right.
And it sort of brings you back probably to when you did art. You got to get out of your head and kind of just be in the moment of it. And that's what the mandala is, being in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
But it's fun to watch people and how they are reacting to what they're doing. Oh, I don't like this, whatever. And then me, as I was the teacher, so me as the instructor, I go over and we talk about it, and I'm like, well, what don't you like? And their piece is really good.
Right.
It's just that they're focusing on what they don't like, and I just keep working it, and then they go, oh, they keep getting excited about it, but.
And those little breakthroughs can kind of be a big deal for people sometimes, because that can lead to them trying something else
It's true.
that they wouldn't have thought to try. How many people tend to participate in these kinds of classes?
So in the mandala class, we had 9.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's We can have more, we can have less. That's, it's a good number because I can kind of talk with everybody. But we do pour painting classes, and we try to max out at 12 because it's there's more to that class, and that's where you pour. You can create with like chains or feathers or credit cards, or you just create different things. Sip and dips, we have, we can have 20, 22.
Wow.
Yeah, it just depends. And sometimes we have less, and sometimes we have that many.
Right.
But we do lots of free classes too. Every week we have bone builders, which if people don't know what bone builders, it's really good, obviously for your bones. RSCP, it's a program through them, and we have an instructor, Heather Wilson. She's great. It's all volunteer and it's free. Twice a week, Wednesdays and Fridays. And then we have ukulele group every week, and that's free. We have artery every week, which is for artists to get together and paint together. That's free, unless you need all the materials, then it's not free. But if you bring your materials and just want to be inspired and connect with people.
Right.
We have book group every month, and that's free. So there's things we do that are free.
Oh, for sure.
And then we have, figure drawing, and we talked about sip and dip, pour painting, mandala painting, and we're working on some other ones. There's actually, I don't want to forget, there's in October 19th, there's a mask making workshop for kids. It's on a Saturday, the 19th of October from 12 to 2, and you're going to have to pre-register for that. You can pre-register on our website, but I just want to put that out there because I think it'd be really fun. We thought we'd do it, around just before Halloween, so it'd be fun to just, use it all up until Halloween. We just want to have some. Karen Worcester, she's going to do the class. She did a lot of the camps, and the kids love her, Miss Karen. And she actually has some sculptures in here. There's one that, like I said at the beginning, I think it's my size, like my height, not my size, but my height. And it's really fun. It's really fun. Somebody said, "Oh, the eyes look just like you." They have these big eyes.
I love the talent you're able to attract to your classes and your camps. The other night, Andrew and I went to a play. One of my students asked me to come to her play at Castleton, and it was a beautiful production and put on by Marissa, who also taught the kids for their theater camp. And I mean, this was such a professionally produced
she's
performance.
Great.
She is.
And you think to yourself, okay, Marissa, sorry, but you think to yourself when you have this, what do we have, 12 kids in the camp, right? You have this kids, and she's doing this, and okay, she has to figure out bits that they're going to do. They got to figure out costumes.
Yeah.
And then, and it's not together. Like, but then this whole thing comes together. I think to myself, it's so like...
Yeah, when Catherine tells me where they're at on Thursday, I can't believe where they're at on Friday. I'm like, how did that come together?
But she knows like
she
how
does.
To do it.
Yes.
And she's so like...
And feelings aren't hurt. She finds a way that everybody gets to do something that they're happy with and they're proud of, and everyone comes away a star,
Yeah.
And it's wonderful. So when I told Catherine that, I just came back from this play and, Marissa was the director, and she was like, "My Marissa, my director?" I said, "Yes." And she was like, "Wow." She did. I'm like, "Nope, she doesn't just teach your camp,
No.
she does all kinds of things."
She's a great friend of the Chaffee. She was in here the other day with her mom visiting, and I was just saying how much of a fan I am of her because of all the things that she does. And she said that she just loves the Chaffee, and I think that that's what we want is people to really feel they're a part of it. Marissa usually, which we do a cabaret. We started last year in November, and she's usually the MC, which she better be this year. So if you're listening, Marissa, and then I wanted to mention too, just so people have it on their radar, at the beginning of November, we'll be doing a gift show the first weekend in November. So we do it every year. We've been doing it for quite a few years. So it's a gift show where you can do more gift buying. But it's in the Chaffee, and it's fun, and it'll all be decorated for. Can you believe it? Already, it's gonna be decorated for the holidays.
It won't be long. And
the Rutland Garden Club, I think, is going to do the outside for us again. See how I'm planting these seeds? Because we've talked to them, but they've done so many years of it. I just want to mention that and thank them for that. They do our gardens out
and they
front.
still do your fireplace, your mantles. And
They've
things.
done the outside more recently because it's just easier as a group. I've been doing the mantles, which I like too. So it's fine.
I was admiring this one today. I like the look of that today.
Thank you.
I'm feeling that, yes.
So is there anything else? I know we're probably
we have a
talking
couple more minutes.
Rental venue. So, you can rent. I mean, I had somebody recently inquire about using it like in a photography thing where they would be setting up to do certain things. And
what a great idea!
I know. And we also have like bridal showers, baby showers. We've had the recently weddings.
Yes, you had the wedding that you had been praying for, manifesting, hoping it would happen.
So I want another one, so I'm putting it out there again. And
birthday parties, retirement parties.
Birthday party for someone who actually got married here, I think 9 years ago.
Wow.
The Perrys. So one of them turns next year. And so we had a really fun party here with them. So that was really nice. Yeah.
It's just such this is one of my favorite places to come.
Oh,
and you know what I think is really neat is both of my kids, they just feel so at home here. And I know that they just represent so many other kids, young people growing up in the community who feel that way, and young and old. Yeah. It just, if you step through the door and if you put aside put aside any preconceived notions that it's a mansion and it's a museum or whatever you're thinking about.
Right.
Just
look,
come
it's
in.
Just beautiful, like both the architecture and things that we have.
It's beautiful and yet unintimidating all at the same time.
I agree. It's warm. You get a really warm.
It really is. It was someone's home, and you can still feel that. Yeah. And then when you have all community members coming together with their passions and their art, it just, you can feel that too. Love goes into that, creativity goes into that. And you can feel that here.
Yeah, that makes my heart full, Steph. Thank you.
Well, I genuinely feel that. I think a lot of people do once they step foot through those beautiful doors. I know. Yes. I love those doors.
One more thing I want to mention is the gingerbread contest, because people always ask. It's on our website. You can. The forms are on our website, but the theme is Believe, so it's wide open, and we're gonna need them here December 4th and 5th. And then we open, the Saturday after that. I just want to put it out there because people always ask and then they say that I told them too late. Well, I'm not telling you late. I'm telling you early.
You've been talking about it since last year,
I know.
Right after the last one.
It's so much fun, and some years we have a lot of them, and then some years we don't. And then sometimes I think people's lives just get too busy in there.
No, I love when you have a lot of them. Oh, please bring in the gingerbread.
So
please.
Who has some from 20 years ago that she puts.
I buy kits. I buy kits because I've tried to do it homemade and they fall down. They slide, they fall down. I cry. It's terrible.
I'm hoping to do a workshop, but don't you have some that you have that are old?
I save mine. Yes. And we have a wrapping process that we do. And even though I know I've got a few little mice in my basement here and there, we've managed to keep them. I have one gingerbread house from about 20 years ago. Now it's gonna become like the Christmas cactus here.
Original to the house. It stays with the house.
That's right. Well, we've had so much fun talking today all about the arts, and I know we'll be back to tell you some more wonderful things that are happening at the Chaffee. Thanks, Sherri.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.